The podcast is back. Welcome to Tasler Guide Service. Join along as my guests and I dive into our outdoor adventures, share some laughs, and of course a few beers. A new episode will be released every other Friday at 5 a.m. I hope you guys have as much fun watching as we did making it.
Don't worry, I'll fix it.
It's all in my head. Yeah, I couldn't hear Kit. I could hear you two just fine.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear Kit hardly at all, and I couldn't hear myself.
I wish I couldn't hear you.
Dream on, son of a bitch.
This will be interesting
I'm
because
here
we're a
to
little
stay.
saucy already.
Yeah.
And we're
here
just
to
getting
stay.
started.
Yeah, we had a podcast before this. We got
Deeply Driven Outdoors podcast.
Zach Jones.
The Zach Jones.
Who?
Oh my God, not again. Not again.
Zach Jones.
Was that Mike?
Who?
Mike?
Zach Jones.
Reliving a nightmare here.
You could have a lot worse nightmares.
It's just beginning.
That's true.
Yeah,
It's a pretty tame nightmare.
It's almost endearing.
A little.
Yeah. In
Yeah.
like a rapper kind of way.
Right.
I feel like rappers are.
What?
That's back to your era of rappers.
If I had understood the reference like from the get-go, it would have been a little different, but I didn't. I had to Google that reference.
Your name was outside the inside joke.
Yeah.
That involved your name.
It really
which
was.
is kind of contradictory.
It's one syllable first name, last name Jones.
Yeah.
It's curse.
You could have much worse problems. Just,
I
just
really
throwing
could.
that out there.
That's true. I could have a lot worse problems.
And then we got.
I mean, you could have been Bobby Bauer and came out as Spencer.
I was supposed to be Bobby Bauer. You guys probably don't know that.
Nope.
I think I've heard this story.
Yeah, I probably talked about it on here. I don't remember. But
Yeah, we did it on a podcast.
I could have been an All-American
legend of
Big
Bobby
Ten
Bauer.
linebacker. You know, that sounds like a guy who would light somebody the hell up. Okay, but Spencer Bauer, there ain't no line. Well, there was one linebacker.
What's your
named
name,
Spencer.
boy? Spencer?
Spencer. Yeah, just
Not
Spencer Bauer.
Bobby.
So anyway, we also have Fishing Kit
Hello.
and Ryan and me for a change of pace.
Yeah. Welcome back.
Yeah, I feel like I'm leading the charge. I need to take a step back.
No, lead away, buddy.
No, this is you've kind of taken ownership of this, and I don't want to, like.
Well, this has kind of been thrown together. I really didn't come prepared because I didn't even know Zach and Kit were going to be here for sure.
Surprise.
Because we had it lined up for for tomorrow,
Yep.
but my daughter's got a concert tomorrow, so I couldn't make it.
And
So
then
I knew that like a week ago.
And then I remembered I'm going to an iCubs game tomorrow, and for whatever reason, I thought it was tonight the whole time. And then we talked. I'm like, oh yeah, that is a different day.
Switcho, change-o. So it all worked out, and I'm glad.
Yeah.
So we did a podcast for Zach early. It went well. We had a good time. So tune in to Deeply Driven Outdoors podcast, and you'll catch that. This one will actually be out this week. I'm not sure when yours will be out.
This week.
This week-ish.
Yeah.
What's the origin of the name of your podcast?
Just about, I guess, being passionate about the outdoors. It's kind of basic.
So there's nothing like very personal about it. It's just kind of like this feeling you wanted about your brand per se.
I don't know about the brand, just about being outside. Like I've kind of shaped my entire adult life around being in the outdoors in some fashion or another.
It's so much deeper than mine. Like like River Certified just sounds neat.
Did you just come up with it because it sounds neat?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, I didn't know if there's a way to get a river certification or not.
No.
I've tried.
It sounds
It's an
really
impossible test to pass.
Yeah. The captain's license is easier than that one.
Yeah, I don't know. It just kind of came from just building your life around being outside, wanting to do it all the time.
I dig it.
So,
I'm
yeah.
just curious.
That's all.
Some people go really deep, like Kit. Like,
Yeah.
Where does Fishing Kit come from?
My name's Kit, and there's these kits out there for fishing. So, Fishing Kit.
it turns out you're one of those kits out there for fishing.
He is a fishing kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On sale tonight for
Right.
$19.99.
So what do you want to talk about, Ryan?
Well, let's kind of run down the spring. Kit, you've been out quite a bit. You've been hammering big wipers.
Yeah,
Some good ones.
here and there.
Yeah.
I haven't posted all of them yet, but
Yeah.
The ones
Are
you
there
have-
any bigs that you ran into?
there's a few bigs.
like double digit bigs.
yes.
Like big. Like how double digit are we talking about?
Well, me being a guy that doesn't weigh the fish, I don't have an exact number, but
Are we
Big.
talking 15s?
I don't think quite 15. Maybe 10 to 12. But there's been at least a couple.
Really?
And
Are
he's
these Lakers or river fish?
Your old stomping grounds.
I don't know what that means.
where you used to
A
live.
dam near where you used to
So
live.
the river fish.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
river
all.
fish.
I was just wondering.
Is it close to where I live now?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Your stomping grounds, too.
Yeah.
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 No, that's good.
Yeah, he's monsters.
I
You
was-
and Butters both have been posting some good ones.
Yeah. I haven't posted too much about them yet because
That's good.
It's still
You gotta
rel-
wait a month or
It's
so.
still relevant. Yes.
I'll wait until the bite dies down and
Yeah.
like, okay, here we go.
Now here's the
Here
video.
you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely right. I just don't have enough content to do that. If it happens, I got to show it because still got a video Friday.
I'm in the same boat.
Yeah.
Do you?
Just
So
how much are you going to sacrifice though for the fish's sake? Because people talk shit on YouTubers, but hearing like I try to do the same thing, and I feel like I'm doing something I really enjoy. Because like I didn't even know you could make money when I started doing this stuff. I did it because I enjoyed it, and then as I continue to do it because I enjoy it, I realized that there's implications on fisheries. So I want to negate that as much as possible. So it's nice to hear you say that, and I try to do the same. So I don't know. It's like just the little things you can do to help the fish out.
Yeah. And me, I haven't gotten that much grief. I gotten like one guy recently, but
An OG.
Inside joke.
But
That was from the last podcast.
You have to listen to the Deeply
Yeah,
Driven
Deeply Driven
podcast
Outdoors.
to truly appreciate that.
right. But I mean, I gotta imagine you get quite a bit of grief for like, oh, this spot's burned now.
Not too much to my face.
you got death threats at one point, though, didn't
I
you?
did.
Yeah.
But that's like years
pretty
ago
rough.
now.
But
And
like,
death threats, it was insinuated. Like that's the way I took it. It wasn't like explicitly said that I will kill you, but it could have been interpreted that way.
He said maybe somebody might kill you. I don't know.
You might look a little bit like me.
They just said that them and a large group of people don't like what I'm doing, where I'm doing it, and they would like me to. They're very adamant that they would like me to stop.
was this in your comments or like to your face?
This was, and there's a whole podcast on this already where we went fairly deep into it, or not. I don't know.
That's on the old River Certifieds on Spotify.
Yeah,
Back in the days.
Back in the first.
yeah, it was
60s.
probably a couple years ago now, but essentially, a guy just sent me some It was a weird deal. It was like a father-son combo, and they both sent me messages on Instagram.
Good genetics are hard to outrun.
I mean, it's all matter of opinion, I guess. You
Yeah.
know, like they had a few good points. I ain't gonna argue, and I replied and told them that and said I was sorry, and they replied with, "You're a piece of shit." So,
Which we get.
yeah,
I mean,
you're right.
Like,
right.
yeah, okay, and
yeah.
tell me something my wife doesn't already.
But moral of the story is like, I don't know. I don't want to make it any worse for anybody else. I just want to do things I enjoy, you know, and this just happens to be one I enjoy and unfortunately impacts some people in probably not a positive way. And then I also think there's other people that just, they go fishing and they have a couple bad days and they're like, well, it can't be because I suck at fishing. It's got to be somebody else's fault. So I'm going to say it's because them goddamn YouTubers
Yeah.
posting them vidges up there.
And when you fish the same spot every time you go fishing, you're gonna have bad days.
You're going to have some bad days.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just because we had a good day at your spot, well, it was just a good day.
Yeah.
If you'd have been there, you'd have had the same luck we did.
Maybe.
Maybe.
It's kind of easy to go to a spot and feel crowded and then just blame the guy that's on YouTube. Well, your spot burned my spot.
And I'm not saying I'm innocent, but I'm not saying it ain't all me.
No, I mean, everyone here's on YouTube.
There's YouTube, there's Facebook groups, you know, and
Yeah.
it's cool that like some of the local, like there's guys on some of the local Facebook groups are more about keeping things hush hush, but there's a few places in our area that have been blown up, and it's unfortunate because like there's one in particular that 10, 15 years ago when I started going there was nobody was
A
there.
hot spot. Yes.
I mean, it was good and you were all by yourself, and not the case anymore. But I mean, what is a secret anymore? I mean, you look at bass fishing tournaments, and I've been geeking out listening to a bunch of bass tournament podcasts lately.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Is that the next step? He's going to
No.
do bass tournaments?
Him and
But-
Corey will take over the Bassmasters.
But it's more the mindset thing that I really enjoy. Hear them guys talk about what it takes to compete at that top level, and I just eat that shit up. But oh shit, where were we going before that?
Burning out spots.
Yeah, but I was gonna say something else, and I totally lost track, and I'm 6 beers in, so that's a problem.
Well, every one of my videos thus far, if I show where I'm at, it's a very public spot. Like there's 10 people there before I get there.
Right.
I'm not revealing any
But
secrets
some people that doesn't matter
whatsoever.
Yeah,
I've had to be
You know?
careful about showing certain landmarks, like you wouldn't even think of, but like
Yeah.
from the parking lot or whatever. It's like, oh shit, I better not show that
But-
sign or that tree or whatever.
man. But you run into issues with people like me who are out there a lot, and they're familiar with because I don't just fish one place.
Yeah.
Like I've literally covered there's probably 150 miles of one river and then 80 miles of another river that I've been on, every inch of it. You know, there's no stone left unturned. I mean, there's little spots within the spot, but I've covered every bit of that water. So like if you post a photo and I see willows in the background and I see the size of the water or the river, I have a good idea of where you're at.
Narrows it down to like 5 spots.
Yeah. And then there's other different things within that beyond just like the willows where I'm like, odds are if you post a picture on the river, any rivers in central Iowa, I'm going to know where you're at.
Right. Well, and that's the thing too. It's like
Within feet.
It's not really spot burning if you already knew the spot.
That's my thought process.
Yes.
You know.
If someone recognizes where I'm at, you've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not introducing people to this area if you haven't been there.
But there is the caveat that you're showing them how to catch fish in a way that they might not have otherwise.
I'm not that good. My videos kind of suck.
I'm definitely not either.
Yeah,
my videos.
maybe
suck.
they've been there and they kind of dismiss the spot, like, that spot sucks. But then
I was
you put
20
out that
feet
video.
away, and there is
Like,
a spot about A spot, B spot.
Yep.
But most of my flathead videos that are going to be coming out are in the dark, so they're not going to be able to see anything anyway.
No.
Because I'm a night fisherman. I work during the day. You're a daytime fisherman more than night.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
just sleep with baits in the water. me and Seth, who I fished this last tournament with, we're talking about that because they got some night tournaments coming up over the summer.
Oh, you'll shine.
I ain't fishing it. Yeah, well, because with the night tournament, if you want to compete, you got to be up all night
Yeah, that's true.
because you got to be mobile. You got to be actively swapping out.
I don't
baits,
know.
all that stuff.
We've caught our biggest fish when we're sound asleep.
Right. Yeah. Well, that big one I caught last week, I was snoring, and I woke up to just freaking taking off.
Morning wood in the middle of the night,
Yeah.
baby.
That's a good alarm though.
Oh, the best alarm. But I'm just I'm a morning guy. Like I like waking up early. I like going to bed early. I'm not going to go to bed early tonight, but but yeah,
That's all right. You still got to get up early. So it doesn't
yeah,
matter.
it's fine.
Yeah,
it's
that's all right.
fine. But yeah, so I hear what you're saying.
Yep. So where is Deeply Driven Outdoors going? What's your future? Where do you want to push it?
Oh, I mean, I don't know.
Or just talk about it more in general.
Yeah, so like I don't know. If you were to give me a magic wand, I would not have to go to work ananymore and just be hunting and fishing all the time.
Well,
But I'm
let
also
me
kind
let
of a
me
realist.
ruin your dream. Because however much you work now, if you want to do it right, at least my opinion of right, you're going to work more.
I guess I don't mean like work. It's not work, but work for somebody else. Clock into the
Yes.
9 to 5. You know,
Yeah.
that kind
You
of thing.
you already won that dream.
So well, yeah.
Yeah, you aren't
In
doing
some-
the 9 to 5 thing anymore.
It's, well, 1 day a week. Still have the part-time job.
Yeah.
So
But anyway,
But-
I keep interrupting. Sorry.
no, you're good.
Sorry.
I mean, I guess ideally, like I would spend all of my time hunting and fishing, like if you're giving me a magic wand. But then there's the money thing, and I got a mortgage to pay.
Yeah.
So if I could, I mean, I don't know. I'm realistic enough to know too that I'm probably not going to make a whole bunch of money doing it. But if I could make it, if I could find a way that I could hunt and fish a whole lot, and if that includes making content or making podcasts or whatever as a part of it, then great. And if that means the other part of it is cutting down trees, I can live with that. I can make my own schedule working for myself, cutting down trees, and then
Around your rest of your stuff.
exactly.
Yep.
Like this week from Tuesday through Sunday, turkey hunting. You know, so
Oh, yes.
it's kind of nice. I had to work today for someone else, but the rest of the week, it's like, yeah, I book it off. Yeah. You know,
Awesome.
work my ass off the last 3 weeks, and then this week I get a turkey hunt and fish and do whatever I want. So,
And I'm fishing for a living, and I can't find time to go turkey hunting.
well, it sounds like you found time to go turkey hunting.
Yeah, one day. Not Tuesday through Sunday. I get to go Sunday.
All that
Maybe.
all that panned out in one day.
What panned out in one day?
Well, you know, I guess before we started recording, your turkey hunting stories from this year.
Oh, I got to go second season. I went, I think I hunted 4 days second season.
It's
Had-
a 3-day season.
I believe it's 5.
It is.
No, I meant third season. Went 3 days third season, which I believe third season's also 5. Or is it 6? It's 5 or 6.
6.
I think
Pretty
it's
sure
a little
6.
longer than
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
and second. Anyway, I had opportunities to kill birds. I missed 2 turkeys. I'll air that out loud.
If not, we were going to. So.
I've never,
I baited him into it.
but I will say I've never missed a turkey in my life, and I've also never hunted turkeys out of a blind. I've always sat on the ground and.
That doesn't mean you have to wear a blind if you're sitting in a
Yeah, I
blind.
might as well be freaking blind.
Like, no wonder you can't shoot any birds.
I'm so good, I'm going to wear a blind for it.
But I get so damn excited when a bird comes in. I start shaking, and when I'm sitting on the ground, I can prop my gun up on my knee and kind of control that shaking, and then I shoot them in the face and they die, and it's great. But out of the blind, I'm holding the gun upright, and it's like all over the place, and yeah, 40 yards. I missed a couple of them.
Is a turkey coming in more exciting than a deer coming in?
I get nothing out of it shooting a deer.
Really?
I killed my first deer ever last December, and it felt very transactional because my buddy Rob, who's been on this podcast a few times, he owns a little bit of ground and he wants some does off of it. I'm like, you want some does off of it? I want some backstraps. So
Sure.
yeah. And my dad, I mean, I grew up eating deer. My dad likes deer hunt. I got buzzed by a slug when I was about 12. It kind of took out some of the excitement of deer hunting.
Good thing your dad's not a good shot, huh? We've worked through it since then.
The actual story is I was hunting sparrows. I don't know if that's legal or not. But
It is. Yep. They're invasive.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I was hunting spatchies, is what we call them, with a BB gun.
Down south.
And it was on my cousin's 40, and there was not supposed to be anybody deer hunting anywhere close. And I hear the right over my head, and
Damn.
it freaked me out.
Yeah.
So,
That sound will wake you up for sure.
Yes.
oh, I was very awake. Awake enough where I quickly realized that deer hunting wasn't for me. But Rob talked me into it, which it wasn't too hard, and we walked out to his insulated tripod blind over his 2-acre bean plot. It wasn't even hunting. Like, the first deer showed up 5 minutes after we walked into the blind, and
Doing its deer stuff.
Yeah.
It does every day.
I could have shot the first one, and I'm like thinking, we better just sit for a while. We just got here. And then
I haven't even got comfy
45 minutes later, there's 7 or 8 out of them out in this bean field. I'm like, I guess I'll shoot that one.
Which one do you want me to kill?
Yeah, yeah.
If you're a meat hunter for deer in Iowa, it is kind of transactional, especially on private. You just kind of know, like, or the landowner knows when they're coming out.
It wasn't hunting.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that because I don't want a deer hunt. I just wanted backstraps. So I got what I wanted, but there was no excitement, no anticipation. Like the turkey hunting thing is.
Now, if a huge buck would have came out, did you have the okay to pull the trigger?
No, because Rob had a tag.
Yeah.
And he has a few target bucks.
Yes. And he's got his property managed.
He bought it to kill big deer.
Yes.
So if he
so
wants
that's
to
his
kill
end
it,
goal.
yeah. But if he hadn't had a tag for a big deer, the right one came out, I'm sure he would have let me kill it. But I don't even care. Like I see a turkey come out, I get jacked. I see a big deer walk out, I guarantee you I would not have been shaken at all. It would have been just like, I appreciate a big deer. You know, like so many people put in so much work for deer, and that's awesome. For some reason, it just doesn't trip my trigger. I don't know why. It's just weird.
Deer hunting's great for the meat, but turkey hunting, like the actual process of the hunt, is much more fun than
I
deer
love
hunting.
talking to them.
Yeah.
It's so cool when you make a noise that fools an animal into thinking you are the same animal. I think that is cool.
It's
like learning
it's a lot
French.
of fun.
Yeah, but more rewarding because you get food.
Deer hunting's pretty. It can be kind of boring until the deer come out, and then it's fun. But turkey hunting,
That's flathead fishing.
That's what I was.
I
Just
suppose.
thinking. Yeah.
I suppose.
Yeah, bow hunting and flathead fishing have a lot in common. And
I'd
maybe
have
that's why I don't get excited
I'd
about
have to drink while I bow hunt.
That might be why I don't get excited about big deer. It's because I get all that out flatheads.
Yeah.
Like I tried to get big into archery in high school. I bought a freaking bow hunting book. I read the book and was practicing shooting a bow, and because my dad had an old shitty compound laying around that he never used. So he's like, yeah, go for it. And stood in the backyard shooting bow for a month and a half and just kind of lost interest.
This is it, huh?
Yeah. Guess I'll go catfishing now.
Have you been waterfowl hunting?
I do enjoy duck hunting.
It's a lot of fun.
It's not like I can see how it could grab somebody and be like super addictive. It's not that way for me, but I really enjoyed it. The problem is the time and the financial investment, because if you want to be a good duck hunter, you got to scout. You got to scout a lot.
You scout multiple times a week.
And you also have to have the deeks and the machines and all that other stuff that goes along with it. I got a couple buddies who love it, Sam, and then my buddy Ross. And if I want to go, I just get a hold of them.
Yeah.
And I'll go every once
And
in
the
a
best
great
day,
while.
it's like 20 below and sleeting.
That's the problem. Like, it's just
like, no thanks.
the best days are miserable. Well, that's kind of the same way with coyote hunting.
Yeah.
If you want to call a coyote in, you go out when it's dark and -10.
Yeah. And now it's just all thermal. Now you just call them at night. You can call them just effective during the summer as you can at night. Or
Yeah.
in the winter anymore.
But I ain't about to spend $2,000 on a thermal scope. They are cool though.
They
are
would be
pretty cool.
awesome. Yeah.
I get why people get sucked into that. Yeah. Have you guys looked at a critter through a thermal scope?
Never have, huh?
Oh, it's cool.
Like I don't hunt, so I cannot relate to anything you guys are saying.
Have you ever hunted ever?
If you want to become hunting kit, I'll take you out. I cannot promise we'll shoot anything, but I'll take you out. I like getting new people into
Like, how do you even call in a coyote? Is there like a
rabbit distress call? It's more like a
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
it's like
good.
How is
you
that
don't
again?
even need you don't even need an e-call.
You sound like a baby.
kind of. And that's what rabbits, when they're under distress, sound like.
Oh, it's
like a high pitch
But you
baby.
you make it sound so nice. It's like make the hair on the back of your neck stand up.
Yes.
It's like gross sounding.
It's pretty disturbing sound.
So what do you use to make that call? Like
All right.
a little.
Here.
I've got an electronic call.
Here.
I used to use.
I have the best-
I haven't hunted coyote in 20 years.
I
or
might have
15
the
years,
best
probably.
coyote hunting story ever. And that's a bold claim, but I'm going to stand behind it. I used to really, really, really want to kill a coyote for some reason. I don't know.
because he looked at me wrong.
I just thought the whole concept sounded fun, and it was a time of year where
They're an apex predator. It's like flathead.
yeah, and then the time of year worked.
Yeah.
You know, well, this was when I first started teaching, made no money, so I'm being like super cheap about this, and I'm thinking I could buy a really expensive e-collar and it'd be like $300-400. Well, I can't afford that. But what I could do is buy a $40 Bluetooth speaker, download some, Rabbit in Distress Bluetooth.
So hit Quiet Riot.
Basically. So I go out, I'm in the woods, I have the Bluetooth speaker on, I pull my phone up, and I've been playing Pandora prior to going out there. And as soon as I unlock the screen, freaking Justin Moore starts playing across the speaker as loud as possible. Like, right, I'm right on the edge of this CRP field, like not a stitch of wind, cloudy, cold, and that sound just carried everywhere. And I just grabbed it.
It's time to go.
Yeah, I'm just leaving. And then I think I went to the bar. And
How many coyotes came into Justin Moore?
they came in two-stepping. Square dance. As many as you could imagine.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I'm kind of stupid. Moral of the story.
That's not breaking news, buddy.
No. Ryan, what's your big plans for the year? You got how many trips coming?
I think 22 last time I counted. I may have picked up a couple more since then. So my May is pretty much full, which flathead fishing really hasn't taken off yet. And so I think I have
I'm getting live updates right now.
4 in May, and then I think I have 9 in June.
No texts. Just FYI.
Just
We got boots on the ground tonight.
Nice.
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Which information is always good information.
Well, right now there's no information.
Well, that's information.
Yeah.
So no, I'm pretty full. July's kind of spawning, so I don't have a whole lot planned. I've got early and late July. My mid, I usually take a trip down south, go blue catting. I think we'll probably go west this year instead of going south.
Are you gonna go with me? Go bumping?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
Well, that's exciting.
yeah. Mid July, I want to take a trip.
Wow. Get ready to have fun.
And then, like I texted you the other day, either July or August. You said probably August. I'd like to go out to Wisconsin, fish with Scott,
Yep.
at least a weekend. He's been texting me or messaging me a couple times, so I want to get out there and fish with him in Wisconsin again.
He's tolerable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did do some bass fishing? Is that what you do?
No, we
You swearing at
introduced
me?
the man.
Son of a bitch.
We introduced the man to flathead fishing, and he caught his first one on purpose when we were down there.
Yeah, he did, didn't
Yeah.
he?
Have you guys caught a flathead on a bass yet?
Yeah, caught a 43.
That's not too bad.
He ate an 18-incher.
Nice. I've used a few.
I love telling dudes who tournament bass fish that story. I mean, like, that 3.5 pounders that would have won the tournament for you? I used them for bait.
Great bait. I've got one bass fishing buddy that I like to give a lot of shit to.
Yeah.
About using his prized fish as bait. They love it.
Oh,
especially,
yeah. They take it well.
especially when they find out it's going on a diddy pole. They love that. That's their favorite thing.
Do you set your bass on top like you do? I'm not sure how you run your diddy pools, but I always, splash them on top. Is there an 18-inch bass splashing on top of the water? 'Cause
Sometimes
that would be awesome.
I don't use bass too much. I've used them a few times. I've never caught anything on them.
Yeah.
So I don't target bass too much for bait.
What's more potentially unethical in angler minds? Would a 20-inch largemouth for bait be worse than a 16-inch crappie?
The 16-inch crappie would bum me out a little. I'd want to eat that.
No, I'm just thinking the whole population of anglers. What's going to
Definitely
bother
bass.
more?
I think the bass.
Definitely
The bass
bass,
for
yeah.
sure.
Bass fishing is probably where the most money and popularity is.
Oh,
at
it's
in
not even
fishing.
close.
Yeah.
It's not even close.
And the
actually.
size of the bass versus the size of the crappie that you can legally use is completely different.
Well, there's
you
no...
got to have a 15 or, depending on the waterway, 15, 16-inch
in the
bass.
statewide limit, 12... Or is it 15?
I think it's 15.
I thought it was 15.
I think it's
Yeah.
15, yeah.
So a 15-inch crappie, and a 15-inch bass.
Well, there's no length limit on crop.
I know, but I'm just comparing the size.
Like, what's the
But
equivalent?
that's why I went 2016.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like 20, well, maybe it'd be more like 2014. It'd be the closer equivalent
Yeah, that's
for
true.
trophy status.
Oh, a 14-inch crappie, I don't think many people look as a bait would be a problem. Because if you don't catch something, then you fillet it.
Right.
Yeah, like
right.
someone's gonna eat it
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Right. I think 15-inch crappie is the biggest one I've caught something on. I've used 116.
Man,
Have you used most species of fish in Iowa as bait?
No, there's some
No.
that are taboo, like muskies. I ain't gonna
Yeah,
use
but
a
your
muskie.
legal length limit for muskie isn't really.
You could
what's
turn
that,
them into
40
cut
inch?
bait.
yeah, cut bait.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I suppose. But for flathead,
I've never used a walleye for bait.
I wouldn't use walleye for bait.
Me either.
Trout.
I don't think they'd suck
I'd
them
use
down.
trout
They're
for
pretty
bait.
spiny.
Well,
I would love to use trout.
I've
Hell
caught
yeah.
flatheads on perch, which are basically.
That's true.
I mean, if a perch will catch a flathead, then
But a legal perch and a legal walleye are two different sizes.
there's no size limit on walleyes.
There's not? Oh, that's true.
Depends on
Yeah.
the
That's
body of
true.
water.
Yeah.
Not in rivers, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I never thought of that.
I wonder how other people from other states. I wonder how they feel about that, because walleye fishing in other states is, well, they got like seasons and slots
Yeah.
and all
Oh,
that
if you're
stuff.
like Minnesota or Wisconsin,
Yeah.
They might frown.
It's the
a little
state
bit.
fish in Minnesota.
Right.
I know.
Yeah, you don't
I've
even
used-
fish for them dumb brown whiskered fish.
I've used.
Why would you even do that?
I mean, our state fish is channel cats, and I've used channel cats for bait.
I have too.
Nobody gives a shit.
Right. Yeah. Nobody cares about catfish.
yeah.
I mean, it's getting to be more
Anywhere
of a
you
thing,
go,
but
you know. When I went to
there's
school
like
in
a
South
group
Dakota,
of people who care, and then nobody else.
Yeah.
cares.
Everybody else is like, yeah.
Yeah.
when I went up to school in South Dakota, we'd be catching 8 to 12 pound channel cat and just thinking we were studs. They're like, I caught this 8-inch walleye. Who gives a shit?
Caught 4 keepers. Didn't have to deal with them stupid catfish that actually fight hard and stuff.
They were bruisers up there because nobody fished for them.
Right.
Walleye's redeeming quality though is they look cool and they taste good.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, absolutely right.
They're a little trickier to fish for.
I mean, I love walleyes. I really do. But I don't make them into something more than they are.
Right.
You know, they're a cool looking fish that tastes good, that is tough to catch at times. The end.
Unless you pull worm harnesses and
Dude, the
applicable waters.
The worm, but that's only certain times a year. You know, there's a large chunk of the year where worm harnesses are not that great.
Do people do that in the river?
No.
I don't hear about it
No,
in the
you
river.
wouldn't be able to. You'd be snagged all the time.
Yeah.
I don't. If you rigged it right, you wouldn't be snagged. The problem would be you'd be catching catfish all the goddamn time, or drum.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, we caught some monster, at least monster for Central Iowa, monster drum today.
Really?
Yeah, like 6-7 pounders.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good time.
Yep. Everybody was very excited. I even got a picture with it.
And Kit was nowhere to be found.
No.
I guess I'm the drum magnet.
You are the drum magnet.
You could have a lot worse qualities. You know.
Speaking of fish you don't normally eat, is that any good to eat?
Drum?
Yeah.
I love drum. Like,
Is the trick? Okay, so I've eaten drum once, but it was like freezer burnt, and we flash thawed it.
I mean,
We were half drunk, and we threw it in with
you
the
did
catfish.
everything wrong.
the
Oh,
fact,
absolutely. So my opinion of drum had always been, well, it's terrible fish because we messed it all up. But
the fact that you froze it was your first problem.
right,
I try not to. And this probably speaks volumes for what's the highest quality meat. But I will freeze. I feel comfortable freezing walleyes. I feel comfortable freezing crappies. And I feel comfortable freezing catfish. The other ones, I've frozen wipers and white bass. It's not that great. I've never froze a drum, so I don't know if it's going to be good. Maybe it would have been good if it wasn't freezer burnt and you flash thawed it.
Which, if you're going to keep a drum, you're doing a catch and cook that day, or you're going to consume it quickly.
I mean, most of the fish that I eat, I don't freeze.
Yeah.
my complaint with
Period.
the drum was that it was tough when we
And
messed
maybe
it all up.
maybe it's because of how you prepped it.
Probably.
But I will say 9 out of 10 drum that I eat that are fresh are fine. And then you'll get the random chewy one. And chewy in a non-appetizing way. Like calamari is chewy and good.
Yeah.
Drum are chewy and bad. Not all of them.
That might be the title of this podcast.
Chewy and bad.
But not all of them, but that one rando one, you'll be like, you know.
Yeah, and how many people have had that one rando one and think, this is horrible?
But I would say, and I'll stand behind this. Well, maybe, because it's been a while.
I'll partially stand to the side
yeah,
of this.
maybe could. Who knows? We'll see. But if you fried walleye and drum together, and you took the time to clean all the red meat off the drum, it'd be hard to tell the difference.
Tough to tell the difference. Have
Unless
you ever had drum, Kit?
Yes. I think I would be able to tell, not from a taste perspective, but a texture perspective.
Maybe.
The texture is a little bit
Do
different.
they have bigger flakes to the meat?
I don't
Is
know.
that what it is?
It's
or-
kind of, for me, at least the drums that I've
It's
eaten,
not as flaky.
they're
The walleye is very flaky, and some drum are, and some aren't.
They're so they're like more dense.
I would say more
Yeah.
dense.
Yeah.
More of like a seafood texture, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
well,
one-
that's what fish is.
Well, well, like a shrimp.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you want to get technical.
Touche, salesman.
But more of like shrimp and, shellfish kind of a texture. Some people would say rubbery sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the things I want to do with freshwater drum is make a chowder out of it.
Oh, I bet that'd be really good.
But the thing is, chowders, I would say it's more of kind of a cold weather type of deal. I don't catch a lot of drums when it's cold.
I do.
Usually it's like summertime and stuff for me.
Yeah.
If I could catch one through the ice, I would make.
How much fun would that be?
I would
'Cause
make
they fight
chowder.
Like a son.
Dude,
Yeah.
that big one today flattened that rod. Like it was up and then just zoom pointed at the water.
That's awesome.
It was pretty freaking awesome. To hear 6-year-old little girls like screaming like, "Oh my God!"
No, that was you.
We might have sounded a lot alike. Point being, everyone had a good time.
But I hear people compare them to lobster, like poor man's lobster and stuff.
Yeah.
They say that about a lot of fish, like burbot. You know,
Yeah.
it's poor man's lobster.
Is burbot good?
Supposedly, I've never
You
eaten.
ever had it?
Tastes
I've
like
never-
lobster, apparently.
Well,
No one's had.
I had
have you had it?
lobster last night, and it's hard to imagine any fish tasting like that.
Like rich man's lobster or poor man's lobster?
I didn't have to pay, so that's why I got lobster last night.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I've
can't
never had
remember
it.
the last time I paid for lobster.
Not to brag, but
Probably the last time I paid for lobster was when I worked at Red Lobster and got it for half off.
I think the only time I ever paid for lobster, I bought 2 live lobsters for my mom and dad's anniversary, and I put them in the bathtub and just walked out. That's the only time I've ever
Have
bought
at
lobster.
it, mom and dad.
They're your problem now. And I cut the rubber bands off the claws.
You son of a bitch.
Deal with it. I did not get to taste any of it.
Have you ever been to a restaurant that has like the claw thing where you use the claw you put the quarter in the machine?
Oh, to grab
and
a
if you-
stuffed animal or
No,
something?
if you can grab the lobster, you get the lobster.
You go to different restaurants than I do.
What kind of restaurant is this?
It was
Don't
down.
see that at McDonald's.
No,
messed up Applebee's.
it was down south somewhere. I don't remember. Oh, it's been probably 10, 15 years ago. But yeah, they had a machine. You put a quarter in it, and it had the claw. And if you could catch a lobster, you got the lobster. Cool.
I mean, it's worth a quarter.
I tried it. I failed.
They make $1.5 million on that machine every year.
I'd put $5 in there just to get a lobster.
Yeah.
The problem
absolutely.
was, like, I thought he was just chilling on the bottom, and I thought I had him freaking dialed in.
He's played this game,
and
boy.
the claw comes down, and it just touches him, and he's freaking zoom off. Never had a shot. Thought I did.
I see the flaw to this game already.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't
Well,
get you for 50 cents, did they?
No,
Just a quarter.
yeah, they got me for a quarter. Because that's the type of person I am.
Fishing Kit, what you got coming up?
Well, I just got a new vehicle ahead of.
Tell your truck story.
Okay, so
Your house is like bad luck. This last
dude.
year, you've had such hard luck.
dude. So, what was it? I'd say about 3 weeks. I think it's about 3 weeks now. Maybe it's been only 2 weeks.
God, time flies.
But
It might be 3 weeks.
anyway, so I was in bed one night and it's just thundering and there's just a loud noise. I was like, okay, it's just close thunder, whatever. I hear my roommate get up. He's like, "Oh shit!" I'm like, "Oh no,
That's not
like,
good.
This ain't good." I was like, "Whatever." He's probably just freaking out for no reason. So I just stayed in bed. I did not get up. And then my phone's ringing, and I see it's my neighbor across the street. Okay, maybe there's something more to this. So I pick it up. He was like, "Yeah, what's up, dude? Hey, I think your tree's like on your truck or on your house. I can't see you right now." F word.
Fudge.
So I get up. I'm still talking to my neighbors. Like, I can't really see, but just checking in on you, see if you're okay.
Make sure you're not under a tree.
Yeah, and then he's like, "Yeah, I think your tree kind of fell on your house or on your truck. I don't know. I can't tell." And then my roommate's like, "Man, holy shit!" So I look outside. My tree, the biggest silver maple in our neighborhood. Granted, every house in my neighborhood, they all got big silver maples, and I just happen to have the biggest one. I look outside.
Used to.
Yeah, I used to. And this big ass tree is laying on my truck. It's dark. It was a downpour, and as far as I can tell, there wasn't much wind. So I'm like, okay, I don't know how this happened, but there's a big ass tree on my truck and on my neighbor's house. Well, I couldn't tell at the time. There's no leaks. Okay, whatever. I'm going back to bed.
We'll deal with this in the morning.
Yeah, I'm going back to bed, stressed out. I couldn't sleep, and then when I got up the next day, I texted my boss. I said, "Hey, I don't think I can make it to work today." So I sent him some pictures. Big tree on my truck.
And then I got fired.
Hey, you got a free day off of work though. That's good.
Oh man, it was one of those rare days where I would have rather have gone to work.
Hell yes.
And was it less than a year ago you got struck by lightning or something?
Oh, yep.
You got
Actually,
struck
last
by
year,
lightning?
My house got struck by lightning.
Yeah,
house.
he needs to move.
It's cursed.
Funnily
the
enough,
moral of the story.
it fried one of my garage door openers. So I have a two.
Is that the worst that happened?
Yeah,
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
that's good.
I thought it was way worse than that.
I mean, I had some outlets freak out. I had to replace some outlets, and yeah, my garage door opener got fried, which I still need to replace. But anyway,
I mean, there's time for that.
I need to replace my beer too. You want to put a few on the table?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
$1 a piece.
Build me.
Supply and demand.
But anyways, I should probably get to where I'm going with this story. So
We're in no hurry.
yeah. So my plan this year was to get a boat. I was not planning on getting a new truck, and I thought for a
But
couple.
it's going to pull your boat so much nicer.
Yeah, I thought for a couple weeks, like, man, I already put money down on the boat, but I don't have to commit. But I would be out that money, and like, you know what?
So
F
you get a
it.
brand new boat.
Yes,
What brand new Crestliner.
Alumacraft.
Aluma-
Or
Lumacraft.
yeah, Lumacraft.
Lumacraft.
90 horse tiller, 18.5. You're going to tell you what, did you get a double axle trailer?
It's whatever. It might be a
Can
single.
you call them and I highly recommend that because those
double.
18.5 foot deep V's, when you put them on them single axles, you look at them tires and they are squished.
Yeah, I think you guys talked about this in
Yeah.
one of your recent
Like
podcasts.
16-foot deep V, single axle all day. Them 18.5s, man, like a lot of people run single axles and they're fine, but it just
Yeah.
makes me cringe. You do what you want. I would highly recommend.
Well, I don't
that
know
one.
what I want yet. I'm like a total newbie coming into this.
I mean,
Yeah.
you got more bearings to take care of, but once you get good at it, it ain't no big deal.
At least you get to find out all the boat shit the hard way, though.
I see
Like-
everyone thinks of me as a kayak guy. I got my first rig when I was 16.
Boat rig, not kayak rig.
I didn't get a kayak till I was in college. Yeah, I've been a boat guy since I could drive.
Wow.
The boat didn't go far though.
No.
I've spent $1,000 on my boat this year and
I
haven't
hauled
been
it-
in it yet.
I hauled it to Oklahoma.
Did you?
Yeah, it was down in Oklahoma with me.
Hell
when I was
yeah.
down there. But anyway, yeah, I totally get that. I spent, well, I bought Talon, so I spent a lot more than $1,000.
But you've been in your boat a time or two, I bet. This
Yeah,
year.
a couple.
I've been in. I had to
About 8
replace my
days a week.
skeg.
Yeah. Oh, you tore your skeg off?
Oh, dude,
That's
Oh,
a
you
sick
did.
feeling
You
when
did.
you do that.
So I was heartbroken for a while. So I messed it up last Memorial Day weekend. Submerged boat ramp. We were cast netting for shad. Got caught in the current. Nephew was driving. A lot of people on the boat. A little bit of beer, other than the driver, was involved. And
Trolling motor fixes that.
I don't know if it fixed it. It was pretty messed up.
No, but I mean, a trolling motor prevents that.
It would have.
And you know what else it does? It doesn't spook the shad
Yeah,
as bad.
I took the trolling motor off because it was a bow mount and it was just in my way.
But that's where you want it to cast net.
I know, but I never used it. Also, I'm new to cast netting.
Okay.
So anyway, I broke the skeg off the boat. Well, the skeg was broken off the boat, and the prop had to be replaced.
yeah,
So it was
$1,000 for that ain't bad.
no. Well, that wasn't. It was only $700.
Well, you said 1,000.
I did,
Now you're saying
but-
700.
He's getting
It was
there.
other.
What's
It was
the
other
story?
shit.
He's getting there.
I put lights in and a second fuel tank. Hold on, yards. Yeah, it was. So I was looking at the bolt-on kits that you can get, but there wasn't enough skeg left.
Yeah.
So I took it to recommended in town,
Okay.
and they just welded a new skeg on. That was
Nice.
$700. Then I put new lights on it, and
Still not bad.
no second gas tank. So
So
What do you have for a boat?
roughneck 1760.
1760.
1760 with it's a
Not the 1752.
1760.
Well, that'd be a comfy one.
It's a fat one.
Yeah.
But
What do you got for a
It's-
motor then?
it's 60 horse Merc.
I have no idea
You
what these
need
guys
every
are
bit of
talking
that
about.
to get on plane.
John Boat Life.
I had it out on. I
Hey,
had,
1760, so it's 17 feet long. The floor is 60 inches wide.
Ah.
Yeah. So mine's a 2072. It's 20 foot long. Floor is 72 inches wide.
it clips though.
Or not the floor, but the bottom of the boat.
We had it on like Rathbun and we had it on the Mississippi. We do like 30, 32.
That's what I was gonna
31,
guess.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not too bad. I had a 25 horse tiller on a 1648 before.
That's the golden standard.
Dude, it did,
Yes.
it did 5 miles an hour downriver.
Then there's something wrong with your motor.
Correct.
So that should be
Correct.
that should run 25 all day.
If all 5 of the people that have watched my channel, if you've watched it for a long time,
And
which
he
you-
appreciates it.
yes,
Go on.
absolutely. Which, if you've watched it for a long time,
one
every
of them.
other outing was a motor problem with the old boat.
Dude, I've lived that life.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
And
why.
that's the problem with old boats.
it was. Hey guys, we're stranded on this island now, which happened once
so it was like Survivor shit.
for a minute. It was. I sunk that boat
Deeply
once.
driven to
Yeah,
the sandbar.
I sunk that boat once, duck hunting, and it was not within reach of a road.
Yeah.
So we were on the phone with search and rescue at one point, but then I called a few people with boats and we got it out.
Yeah.
It took a bunch of ratchet straps and to come along and like 6 people, but we got it out.
So I almost sank a boat and probably would have died if we had duck hunting. I don't know if I've ever shared this story on here. I feel like I've shared every story I have to share on here,
Except this one.
except this one. We were duck hunting on a reservoir that just set up where it ran northwest, southeast. So you get a nasty storm come through, and that northwest wind is
It
just
got lively.
funneling down. We're in a 1648 John boat with a 15 horse 7 root on the back. We got out there early as shit, set up decoys. The wind was howling. We played it safe. The boat ramp was behind an island, and the faster way was to go to the main lake. The slower way was to go all the way around the island and set up where we wanted to set up. So we played it safe in the morning in the dark and went all the way around the island, set up. no problems. Killed ducks. It was great. Good day. A lot of other fun shit happened. Maybe I'll tell some more stories later, but that's the gist of what happened. On the way back, we were ready to get back, and my buddy who was driving the boat was like, I think the wind's died down a little bit. It hadn't died down any. Whatever.
He might have been drunk.
Yeah. Definitely weren't drunk. But we were stupid. So that also is an issue. And he was running the boat, and he was the captain, whatever. I try not to tell the captain what to do. Easier said than done sometimes, but I do my best not to.
And should have spoke up.
I should have spoke up. So we went the main lake with all of that stuff piled in that 16-foot boat. Me, him, and then one other guy. That motor sputtered. So we're like riding over these waves, and the motor sputters on the way up, nose down, motor kicks in. He never took his hand off the gas. It's tiller. Shoves the front end into the wave. Oh. We take this massive wall of water over this tiny ass boat. There was water up to 3 inches from the gunnels. The whole front end was completely under. I grabbed the guy in the front, rip him to the back. We dive to the back. The front end pops up just barely, and we're just like taking on water, and it's like sifting out. And like I don't know how it didn't sink. Like, I don't know how much styrofoam's in this son of a bitch. But it was basically neutrally...
It was made for what it needed to be.
It was neutrally buoyant, essentially, at that point. And my buddy had enough wherewithal to steer the boat to the bank and ended up being okay.
Did he have a great bilge pump?
No bilge pump.
Wow. Yikes.
Like, I don't know how
Did he have a bucket?
We're talking 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah.
I keep saying like 10, 12 years ago because that's when I did all my dumb shit.
There's a pattern.
Yeah. Moral of the story is we were okay, but I had my gun in one hand and my backpack over my shoulder, and I was ready to jump in and swim for it at any moment. So I can feel for you, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah. But you survived. That's the important part.
I'm here.
Still kicking.
Yeah.
But
What do you got coming up for tournaments? You've hit 2 recently?
We hit 2 recently. I don't know. There's those night tournaments. If I ever get a tournament rig, like tournament style boat, the problem with jets is they're so sensitive to weight. Like I could put a live well in my boat, but my boat's slow as it is. Then I put 500 pounds of water in the boat, like because you got to have a big ass live well to accommodate those big blue cats.
Yeah.
I don't think it would run very good, and maybe I should just let her rip and whatever. But if I'm going to compete, I don't want to have any excuses for not doing as well as I think I should.
But does your boat have live wells on it?
Nope.
Or no.
Nope.
So
By design.
By design, yeah. I mean, when I bought it, tournaments weren't on my radar. And
4 inches of water is more important than an 80-pound blue cat.
Yeah. Well, 80-pound tournament blue cat anyway.
Right. One that you got to keep on board.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I built it without tournaments in mind, which you couldn't have a good tournament rig and have the ultimate Central Iowa rig, in my opinion.
I agree. It's 2 end goals that are not even close.
Right. So it's one or the other, and it's if I go that route, I got to pick one. It's the shitty feeling of it all.
Yeah. But to fall back, you got a pretty good a second boat that you could use when you need to use it.
My kayak or yours?
Mine.
Hey, I was gonna say, wait, your boat?
Yeah.
So
What
you
a
got
nice
live-
guy.
Yeah, you got live well on yours then?
No.
Oh.
No. I'm talking if he goes tournament boat, then he's still got a river boat.
yeah.
Close.
And there's a lot of potential there, and I do have my kayak. The problem would be not being able to run charter trips in Central Iowa.
Yeah.
Be able to pull baits for channel cats and stuff like that.
And border waters, which you enjoy quite a bit too.
I've never ran a guide trip on border water.
No,
so.
but
I'm going
now you
to.
can because you're Captain Bauer.
Right. So I have some scheduled for this year.
Yeah.
And I would probably just put together a block of time where I would do that next summer.
Have you caught any blue cats in the eastern border water?
They do not exist north of Keokuk.
Right. The south of it.
South of it can be really good, is my understanding, but I've never been down there.
I'm heading on my first blue cat trip Memorial Day weekend.
Nice.
And it's south. Yeah, it's south of, well, try not to spot burn.
based
That's a big river.
Well, yeah, I was trying not to give away
could
too
be
many specifics.
You could be
It's
5 feet away and still not be in them.
it's in a spot on that river where blue cats are supposed to be in Iowa.
One thing I've learned is big waters fish small when you start to understand them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You eliminate a lot of water
There's a lot of dead
right
water.
away.
Yeah, a lot of dead water. But
Conditionally.
yeah, I mean it
And then they
changes.
kinda
Yeah.
Fills in other spots.
But once you start to understand it, it's amazing how small it feels. Like it's freaking crazy how small it feels. But moral of the story is where you're going at that time of year should be fire.
For blues.
Yeah, like if you're gonna get them, that's the time of year to get them.
Perfect. We're just going because we have the time off.
And there's good flatheads
yeah.
over there.
Nice.
So
Screw blues then.
Well, I haven't.
Blues are fun.
I've never caught
I
a
know,
blue
but they're
of
no
any
flathead.
kind.
no,
In my opinion, they're no flathead.
Are silver carp good bait? Because I know there's a shitload of those over there.
yeah. When it gets warmer, they're real good.
Good. Okay,
Shad, silver carp, skipjack are real good if you find somebody you can buy them off of. I don't think there'd be very many. Like to be able to catch them, it'd be tough down there. They're there, but as far as numbers, I don't think there's very many of them.
They're so good, he named a dog after them.
Yes, yes. Oh, have we talked about the old skipjack on here?
We haven't talked about Skippy on this podcast yet.
He's upstairs. Ella's
He's taking a nap.
He was so tired. Ella grabbed his back legs and just lifted him up, and he didn't give a shit. Like he was a chicken, you know?
So Spencer's got a new dog that's at least 1.5 pounds.
Yeah. He is 5.5 pounds.
I don't know where he hides it. He wears it well.
But he's half Yorkie, half
Mouse.
half Brussels Griffin, which Brussels Griffins were the inspiration for Chewbacca.
About the same size as
yeah.
a Brussels sprout.
Yeah.
There's a size difference there.
Yeah.
So what's Woody?
He's a purebred mutt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So a little bit of everything.
I mean, they think he's part
He's
Carrier
like the
Terrier.
cowardly lion until you're on the other side of the wall.
Yeah. Woody's good shit.
He is.
I love that dog. Hopefully this dog's as good as Woody is because Woody's pretty darn good. But yeah, I got a dog, named him Skipjack, call him Skip for short. Pretty proud of that.
Oh,
man.
Skippy.
Yeah. And then I also thought of Gilligan's Island. He's a skipper.
So you're going to have 2 boat dogs now.
Yeah.
Nice.
They don't take up much room.
That's also by design.
Which is a perfect boat dog.
Yeah.
But he hasn't been on the boat yet. I don't know if he likes the boat yet.
Gets seasick, pukes everywhere. He's gone.
Yeah.
To the shelter you go.
Woody's a great boat dog because he's chill. Plus, he just loves the boat.
And when shit gets serious, he like hides.
Yeah, he gets out of the way. That's my concern with this one is he's kind of a foot chaser. So he's 5 pounds. He's going to get stepped on. Like when...
Yeah, when the clicker's going off, all's fair in love and war.
Right.
He'll figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, broken back later, he'll be all right.
Yeah, he'll learn. He'll buff.
So you're like 4'11".
Ish.
So you're basically
Ish.
eye level with him. I ain't worried about you stepping on him. But it's, somebody else in the boat.
He'll probably be sitting on my lap the whole time.
He probably
so
will be.
I'll just carry him with
He
me.
probably will be. That's one thing I like about him is he seems to like everybody.
You just get that baby carrier. You just throw him in the front and shrug on.
We have one upstairs. Not my idea. But I don't hate it.
Not admitting it.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
Does
One
Woody
by
know
day.
not to shit in the boat?
Woody's never pooped or peed in the boat.
No.
So he just knows. You didn't have to
He
potty
looks.
train him.
He looked at. We were on a trip on a pretty upriver one time, and he's looking at Spencer like, "Dude."
I gotta go.
So Spencer grabbed him and walked him to shore because we were kind of staked up on some pretty shallow before it dropped off. And as soon as he hit that bank, he was shitting.
Oh.
I don't feel bad. I've been there.
But he's like, hey.
Oh, I think that the fact that he knows or maybe he doesn't know, but he figured out that, okay, I probably shouldn't shit on this.
He's a dog who just likes to, please. He's there to keep everybody happy, and he does a pretty good job of that. He knows if he shits in the boat, nobody's going to be happy about it. But yeah, I don't know, he's about the perfect freaking boat.
Yeah, but it's not like you had to teach him though, right?
We had to potty train him in the house. I think it just carried over to the boat.
Gotcha.
Dogs don't like shitting on hard surfaces. They don't really shit on the concrete either.
No, they like to poop on grass.
True. Yeah.
Woody loves shitting on sand.
Me too.
Yeah. There's a sandbar on the Missouri River that's got a couple Spencer dumps on it.
Oh.
They're buried. It's fine.
Well, the tide came up. They're down in Mexico, but now.
No, water's dropping. They're still on prominent display.
Oh, it was recent.
There's still little piles on them.
Oh, I forget your no shower for 10-day trip.
Yeah, it felt
For
like
10
it.
days.
It was Tuesday night to Saturday night. So what's that? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So 4 days.
Yeah.
If you're on the river, who's going to smell you, though?
I had a tournament. There was a
Just
lot.
weigh in.
Well,
Yeah, but it's-
I
there's
didn't
a
care.
Your tournament partner.
If I cared, I would have done something about it.
Right.
But when you feel like you haven't showered in 4 days,
Dude, there's a tipping point where it doesn't even matter.
I disagree. But
And a lot of it depends on the time of year.
yeah,
I was gonna
Like-
say in the heat of summer, I think it matters a little bit more.
yeah.
sometimes it's 4 hours, and you're
Yeah.
like, I need to shower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I'm just gonna jump in quick, guys.
I wasn't sweating much. The last day I sweated a little bit because it was 90. But the first few, like,
And you couldn't find fish.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's very true. But yeah, the first few days, like, they were highs in the 60 somethings and lows in the 40s.
Yeah,
you know?
perfect.
Yeah, it was really, really nice camping weather. I slept good, but them damn fish kept waking me up.
I'm taking my first camping trip Saturday night. Cannot wait.
Yeah?
I don't care if it's raining or not.
You never been camping before?
No. Yeah.
First time ever.
Yeah. We're gonna see how this goes.
Like
No.
locally
On my boat. I'm gonna take the boat out and
Yeah.
camp on the boat.
How do you do
Saturday
that?
night.
What kind of stuff do you bring for, like, camping from your boat?
If it's not gonna storm, I literally just throw an air mattress. Well, not an air mattress, a sleeping pad on the back deck. That way, as soon as I get a bite, all I gotta do is do a sit up, and I'm right at my rods.
Bugs aren't getting to you, though? You have, like, a bug
No.
mesh net thing? Or
Once the sun goes down, like an hour after sundown, the bugs kind of chill out.
Yeah, we've also been in a drought for 12 years.
That doesn't hurt things.
Yeah,
But I've got a, what do they call them? The little
thermocell.
thermocels.
Yeah.
Throw one of them by me, and
They legit work really well.
as long as
Those
it's
devices.
not a breezy night.
Breezy night, or I've had nights where the bugs or the mosquitoes were so bad they didn't seem to care.
You kept 70% of them away, but that 30% was still horrible.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like you probably hit the nail on the head right there, And if it would have been 100%, I'd be dead right now.
It just sucked me dry.
Yeah, there'd be no blood left in my body.
Okay, speaking of camping on the boat, I know sometimes in your video, Spencer, you'll pull up to the bank and set up your tent and sleep on the bank. I guess my question is, why is it just better to sleep on the bank versus pulling out a cot on your boat and just sleeping on your boat?
So we go back to bugs. Like if the bugs are bad, the tent's really nice.
Yeah.
If it's gonna rain, the tent's nice. If the dew point's gonna drop and things are gonna get wet, the tent's really nice. But if it's dry and stuff like that, and the bugs aren't bad, man, I'd rather just sleep out of a tent. Like with the drought we've had, I haven't taken a tent in like 2 years. But prior to that, I wouldn't always sleep in the tent, but I always have it just in case.
Right. Because the boat, sleeping in the boat, since I'm getting a boat, is something I
It's
want to
awesome.
do.
It's so awesome.
So one nice thing, if I buy my tournament rig that I want, I'll have a full enclosure on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like my boat's set up perfect where I have a sleeping pad on the back deck, a sleeping pad on the front deck, and then I got a cot in the middle. And then sleep 3 perfect.
Nice.
Yep.
Do you run trips
even
that
room
way?
for a 40-pound
I
fly.
do
overnight
Yeah, I
trips
do
with-
run
with
12-hour
clients?
trips. Yeah. and it's awesome.
No.
Whoever's on deck sleeps on the back one, and then once they catch a fish, they rotate up, and I always sleep on the front and give them the cot or the back deck.
I don't know if you can say on a podcast, but you gotta be a people person to be a guide, right?
That's number one quality.
Have
Yes.
you had people that are like, even as a people person, you're like, oh my god, what is this trip?
Not
over?
at all.
Okay,
Which last year was my first year.
Yeah.
I ran, I don't know, a dozen trips last year probably, and every single one of them were awesome.
I
It
mean,
was
good.
so much fun.
reality is nobody gets along with everybody.
Yeah.
Nobody clicks well with everybody. You interact with enough people over a long enough period of time, there's going to be somebody you're not going to get along with that well,
Right.
or as well as others. But the vast majority, like 99% of people, have been awesome. But it's unrealistic to assume that every single one of them is going to be awesome.
Yeah. But if you got someone that paid for like a 12-hour trip,
You do
and
your
on
best
hour
you
one,
absolutely can, man. Like, who gives a shit if you love them or
Yeah.
immediately are like, well, you're probably not a person that I would talk to otherwise. It doesn't matter. Like, you're providing a service, so you do the best damn job you can.
yeah. How do you navigate that though? Like,
You just don't give a shit. Like, I'm here to do
Yeah.
a job, and I'm going to do the best job I can, and just be maybe grateful. That might be something like, just be grateful that you have the opportunity to even do what you're doing.
And those trips that you struggle to get a bite or to, seem like you're making it super great for them, I kind of over push. I try to go out of my way to, throw them a snack or, tell a story or
save your best jokes.
something. Yeah. They're in trouble.
Yeah.
Not a very funny guy. But no, and this last year sucked because the drought has the rivers down horrible. So I was kind of stuck with two spots because that's the only place I could literally get my boat in the water.
We were stuck with
Yes.
the two spots.
Yes.
Have you found it better this year?
We'll see.
A little
Yeah.
bit with some rain.
Yeah.
It's lower this year than it was last year at this time.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the outlook should be better this year.
I hope so.
There's
It
been more
seems
rain
to be
in the
more
spring.
rainy, and
yeah.
the rest of this week is looking really.
But the ground
rainy.
is so dry that
Just-
the river was up and then the frost went out and the river just went because that ground just sucked it up.
Yeah, I guess unless you're on the eastern side of the state where they're flooding over there.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. Because all the Minnesota snows,
Yep.
which we don't get any of that.
right.
So, the last week we've got some good rainfall. The river's up. The section that we're going to fish Wednesday is now boatable. It was going to be a kayak trip, but now it's up enough that we can actually get a boat in and tool around a little bit. So we can do some scouting. We're going to scout Wednesday, and then I'm going to go out Saturday and do a scout trip. And so I'm excited.
This isn't the same exact time of year, but 5/28 last year, the Des Moines River was flowing at 11,700, and right now it's 6,000.
Yeah.
It
Which
look-
we did get rain early last year, and
Yeah.
then it just stopped.
So
Yeah.
May 10th
So-
last year, the flow was 14,500. It is May 8th, and the flow is 6,000 right now.
So do you have an app, or is this just your personal stuff?
This is my personal stuff.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's why he keeps his log.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about memories.
'Cause
you
you-
just look back.
People, it's amazing how people romanticize the past. Everyone's like, "Oh, we got more moisture this year," except we don't.
Which last spring, the spot that we're going to Wednesday, last spring we went to and did well. We caught that 40-something. We caught a 20-something. But the water was up higher than what it is now.
Let's see what date that was.
I feel like the rain's more spread out this year, though.
Yeah.
A little bit. I mean, it's more different rain events. I don't know if maybe more rain, was in.
So
fewer
last
events
year
last
it was May 13th, and the flow was 3,400. Right now it's 1,500. Big difference.
That's a big difference.
Yeah.
Do you have a journal?
I don't. I got a Spencer.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say, well, it sounds like you got one over here. Hey, by the way, this year 6,000 CFS.
So like in school, did you ever do the group projects? There's always the one guy that did that. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. There's the one guy that did the work.
Yeah.
It'll only work if you don't enjoy it.
That's right.
Yeah. I enjoy being able to look at that.
But it's paid off so many times in the past where we'd look at conditions and I represent one place. He's like, where do you want to go? I'm like, let's go try this spot. He's like, well, if it was 2,000 higher, you know, we'd go there. But why don't we try this spot? And then we catch 30.
When it works. Sometimes it doesn't work. But I don't know. It's funny, you know, and you think every year you get a little bit better and a little bit better, but certain conditions are more conducive to catching fish. Like
Yes.
2 years ago was the best year for numbers I've ever had on flatheads here. And then last year, you think you would be even better, but it was good, but it wasn't as good.
It was better for big fish
Oh,
for me last year.
Oh, yeah, you caught some studs
I had-
last year.
Probably, I don't know numbers. I'd say 15 over 30.
I could
last
count.
year.
I could count mine up. I'm not going to. I got my first client fish over 50 pounds. That was my big deal.
That was early. The river was up.
It was right around the end of May.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't super duper high, but it was.
But
high.
it was boatable.
It was very
In a spot that's not boatable right now.
no. You could got around with a prop when I was on it.
Yeah.
Right now, you can't even get by with a jet.
Or maybe a kayak.
Yeah. But
How shallow does that jet run?
like 3 inches.
But
pretty
you
good.
have to be completely on plane and not let up.
Yeah.
Or you're stuck.
That's the weird thing. That's the weird thing about jet is when you're on a prop, like you get into trouble, you back off. You get into trouble with a jet, more gas. The answer is always more gas. Because if you're going to get in trouble, you might as well get into big trouble.
Right.
And that's only happened one time. Ryan got to enjoy that.
Twice.
No.
Probably the first 2 times I've ever been on that boat.
But no, you got to experience the bad one.
That was a bad
The
one.
first 2 were like, whatever. No big deal. We pushed it off by hand.
Me, him, and Sam left our nutsack on the sandbar, but we pushed it off by hand.
It took 5 minutes.
Is it the same Sam that's been on the podcast?
Yes.
The big giant
Sam
son
Squatch.
of a bitch.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've obviously never met Sam, but I've listened to the podcast a bunch. He sounds like a large human being.
He would hit his head on the drop ceiling.
Yeah.
Like sitting down right here, just like rubbing his head.
Big man, bigger personality.
Yes.
But yeah, it took 5 minutes for us to get it off of that sandbar. Both times. But
5 minutes away from each other.
But the other one took 2 hours.
Yeah.
3
With
hours.
a come along.
Yeah.
And-
With mechanical assistance.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was buried so deep that 3 guys go 1, 2, 3 push and it doesn't move.
Yeah.
It was one of those where it's like, is this going to be here until the water comes up?
And it still wouldn't be floating to
Did you
this
have
day.
to come along on board?
Yeah, I got 200 foot of anchor or a winch rope extension, and then a manual come along, and a mini sledgehammer, and a fence post. That's always on board.
That's smart.
I've never had to use the fence post or the sledge. We had to use the come along and the winch rope extension, and that took us 2.5 hours to get it unstuck. My bow eye, where you hook it up to the trailer, that's where we hooked the come along to. It's still fucked up.
Is it really?
Yeah.
It's tweaked a little to
So you
the
had to
left.
basically nail a fence post into the sand and then come along the boat to the fence post?
You could, but fortunately, where we, like the waterways where we fish, there's so many stumps and logs and stuff that you can loop it around that, and those are solidly placed in the sand.
Much less work than nailing a fence post in.
And they're more solid.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
because you would use, we're talking it's probably every bit of 2,000 pounds with everything in it.
Oh, absolutely.
every bit of 2,000 pounds. So
And then fighting the however deep it is from the sand to pop it out, up and over.
So
That was the worst part, is getting it up out of the, when it's jammed in there.
dude,
Getting it up and then
the worst
dragging it.
part is lumped into the whole experience. Like the whole experience was the worst part. Actually, the worst part was getting off the river. It's 2:30 in the morning, and I'm running a guide trip at 6 a.m. an hour away. So I drove to the boat ramp where I was running the trip the next day, put the boat in the water, park my truck, walk back, just pass out in the bottom of my boat, wake up at 5:30 to a boat. Like I tied it off to the dock at the boat ramp, and I wake up to hearing a boat motor running and some guy whispering to his buddy saying, "There's somebody asleep in the bottom of that boat."
Is he dead?
Is he dead?
Your
smells
unsuspecting
dead.
clients had no idea what you'd been through.
I ended up telling them, and they weren't amused. They looked at me like I'm wrong with me, and I'm like, "Well, you're right."
They're correct.
Yeah. It actually was a good trip. It was the father, son, grandpa trip, which I ended up running a bunch of those, and I really enjoy them.
You have run a bunch of those?
Yeah.
That's a good deal.
And the kid, I think he was 10 or 11. We found a school of white bass. Like we pulled for channel cats for a while, and it was marginal. We caught some fish, but it wasn't like real good. And then saw the seagulls diving, and there was so I just said, "Here, take this inline spinner and throw it at him." And he ended up catching 10-inch white bass after 10-inch white bass after 10-inch white bass, and ended up. It was 6 to noon, and it was like 12:30, and Dad walks over to me and goes, "Are you going to tell him the trip's over?" And I said, "No." Like, you can tell him, but I'm like in a haze at this point in time, but I'm just sit back, relaxed, because he'd take the fish off too. So I'm just watching him reel in fish after fish after fish and having a ball. I'm like, I'm not going to tell him to stop. Like, I'm enjoying the show.
Have you taken a lot of guide trips yourself? Like, so you're a guide now, obviously, but have you been on?
I've never paid a guide. I've fished with guides, but I'm the idiot who likes to beat his head against the wall to figure things out on my own.
I generally do too. If I'm in a different time zone, I will pay a guide.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a whole different style of fishing, I don't have any of the equipment for. That's my rule. But otherwise, I am in the same boat with that.
I drove 20 hours to a body of water I've never fished. Felt confident enough about it to run. Well, I was going to run charter trips, but then I found out I had to have my captain's license. So I ended up just, like, I already had trips booked prior to discovering that I needed to have my captain's license for that body of water, but I was going to run them. I ended up just taking them for free because I couldn't.
Charity trips.
But because I've pounded my head against the wall so many times figuring out new bodies of water, that I felt confident enough to be able to run charter trips on a body of water I've never fished. And I ran them for no money, and we caught, like, I never skunked once, caught a pile of fish and a lot of good ones.
And that's blue cat versus a flathead.
Well, and it's not a pat on my back. It's just a result of doing that. And because I beat my head against the wall enough and got to that point, it's just like, just feels really good. So there's nothing wrong with booking a charter trip. I mean, obviously I want people to book them with me.
Yeah.
But if people don't, like, there's a certain level of reward that comes from doing that is not replicable in any other way.
If you're a really fishy kind of person, though, you kind of want to catch the fish yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on your circumstances, you know? Yeah. The majority of people that I take out are people who want to catch fish but just don't have a ton of time.
Yes, time is definitely the main factor.
Yeah, and, like, total respect for that. I totally get it.
Yeah, we did the legwork. Come have fun.
It's just,
you know,
my idea of a good time is not catching fish and getting pissed off about it.
I think
that's scientifically proven.
Right.
My thing's equipment. Like, most of the guide trips I've taken have been all on saltwater. And then
Yeah,
which is a different breed.
Yeah, like you kind
That
of have to
might
have
be-
a boat and special, like I don't know, special gear.
My
and-
excuse for not booking saltwater guide trips is being cheap because they're always more expensive.
But you have like saltwater experience though
From
yourself, right?
From the beach or a kayak.
Still saltwater.
Yeah, but it's not the same. Thank you.
Oh, dang, the personal handout.
Last one.
Oh, good. We're lighting that up.
This one's fresh.
There's at least another one right there.
There's
Yeah,
one more
we
right
got
there.
some more in the fridge.
This one's
too.
mine. then.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Screw you guys.
But yeah, I mean, saltwater is different, but it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, a fish is a fish is a fish, and like sure.
But that's scenarios that I've never came across.
But you
know
can't
what
take
I
your
mean?
you can't take your freshwater gear. Like I can't take my spinning tackle that I use at the lake and take it to saltwater and hope it holds up.
just
right?
depends on what it is.
inland. Yeah.
I mean, like, well,
you're not going deep sea fishing with it.
no, not so much the fish,
It just
but the
depends
salt.
on
flats
it.
and-
Totally depends on what you're talking. Like, there's a lot of stuff people use in freshwater that work just fine in salt.
I mean, does the salt deteriorate your gear?
Yeah, but you got to rinse
But
it
that,
off.
but you would be limited exposure to it. That would be over a period of time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not gonna
All you-
bust a rod or a reel in a week.
If you're out
If
for a
you go there
family
for a week.
So if you're out for a family vacation and you take your freshwater shit to saltwater,
It just
you're
depends
fine.
on what it is, man. Like if you have a pin, so majority of pin spinning reels work fine in the salt. The trick, no matter what reel you have, you could spend $600 on a reel. It doesn't matter. When you're done, you tighten the drag as far as it'll go, and then you gently rinse it under a hose of fresh water. That's it. And then once you're done with that, you back the drag off and let it dry. That's all you do. There are your lower quality gear, like your cheapo $20 spinning reel, probably ain't gonna last.
Well, the first redfish that grabs it, it just explodes on impact.
I've never had that with a redfish, but I had a Mitchell 4000 that my grandpa gave me. He gave me 2 of them, and that's all I had. So I took it to the salt, and I hooked a 6 to 7 foot tarpon.
It's gone. It's gone.
And
You might as well just thrown it in the river.
the funniest part of the story was like, he's going to spool me. So I start tightening drag down, and the drag cap on top pops off. So I'm like,
Now we're hand fishing.
well, so I just put my hand on the spool thinking I'm going to slow him down. I didn't slow him down. And I had like blisters on my palm
bet.
from trying to stop him. But 45 seconds and 225 yards of 30-pound braid later, he's just gone. But yeah, I mean, I totally get why you'd want to book a guide in saltwater, but I mean, you think about rivers, fish live in holes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you have holes in saltwater, and guess what? Fish concentrate in those too. You look at sandbars, you have where the waves wash up. Well, just past that, you have your wade gut where it drops down, then it rises to a sandbar, and past that sandbar, it drops off and it rises to another sandbar. So you have fish that run those troughs, which are essentially holes, and then you have spots like when you get good at reading the surf, there's spots where there's cuts in those sandbars, and those cuts concentrate fish. So if you can look at the waves and read the waves, just not the exact same as reading the current, but the same concept, you can figure out those spots that concentrate that bait, and then from there you have all kinds of game fish that show up. You never know. It could be reds, it could be specks, it could be flounder, it could be tarpon. You could get sharks that come in and eat all that other shit. Like Spanish mackerel move through those things. Like you got to just be able to read the water. And that's literally it. If you can do that, you can find fish. It might not be always the fish you want, but you can find something. And everything in the salt pulls hard. So
Yeah.
like,
when you're shark fishing from the beach, what are you looking for as far as you want the drop off?
So
Or-
sharks tend to run the backsides of those troughs or the sandbars. So you have your wade gut, you have your first, and it depends on what part of the country you're in. Like if you're in South Texas, the sandbars set up different than the Florida Panhandle. They set up different than East Florida, Like different areas have sandbars set up differently, but essentially the concept remains the same. The largest sharks often patrol the backside of the furthest sandbar. So you want to drop your kayak, your baits out just past that first sandbar, drop them, and then have them
Which
sitting
I'm
there.
sure is eerie as hell at night.
Oh, at night it's freaky. The worst nights
Because
are
that's when you mostly fish shark, isn't it, at night?
yeah, well, the way I like to do it, because I like to sleep. And I
I
shark
forget what that even is.
shark
Brian's like, what?
shark
Sleep.
fishing is from the beach is catfishing. I mean,
You just got to kayak your
just
out
bigger
your baits.
scale, like
Yeah.
everything's just bigger. But
Yeah, you're dropping a 15-pound bait.
yeah, or bigger sometimes if you're feeling frisky, like I did occasionally. But yeah, you just drop your baits on the backside of sandbars and wait, and that's the gist of it. You can kayak them a long ways if you want. Sometimes that plays out too, but for the like if you're fishing for tigers, like tigers are the flatheads of the shark family, which kind of made sense why I would target them. And I never did catch a big one in the time frame where I really got after them. I hooked a few, but something always went wrong. The gist of it is, though, you want to drop them on the backside of the sandbar in the evening, and I would run several rods. So if one got bit, I would, as long as I had 2 rods in the water, I never ran another one. So I'd start with 3. You maybe get one bit at sunset, and if I had 2, I just let her ride. And then if I had one get bit in the middle of the night, then I'd rebait both of them and then run both of them back out, and I rarely had to run them again after that.
When it comes to shark fishing, how many sharks beached or landed or whatever is a good night? Like 1, 3, 5?
It just depends on your definition of good, like
112
yeah.
or 3/8.
Yeah,
Right.
it's like, would you rather catch 15 channel cats in a night or one 30-pound flathead?
How big are the channel cats?
I mean, it's just a scenario,
I mean, if you're talking 16-pound channels, I'll take the channels.
Really? I would rather catch one 30-pound flathead than a dozen 16-pound channels.
I agree.
I don't know. That's a lot of big channels.
That's why we get along.
I would take either.
So I'm going to solidly ride the fence on this one.
That's a good fence. to
Either
ride,
way,
though.
I'll take it.
That's a pretty solid fence. to
I'm not
ride.
going to cry about either one.
But my point being is, like, sure, you could catch a bunch of black tips, or in Florida, the standard was 5.5 to 7 foot bull sharks.
Which, if you've never caught a shark, would be awesome.
Right. But there'd be nights where you could catch half a dozen of them if you wanted to keep running baits all night. Sometimes I would, sometimes I wouldn't. But my goal was always that big tiger, and I never got a big one. But if I would have caught one 10 to 12 foot tiger in a night, that'd be the greatest night ever. And that's just one fish. But certain times of year, it's possible if you get after it, you could catch 10 to 20 sharks in a day, 24-hour
No
period.
shit.
But that would be a lot.
And you would not want to do shit the next day.
No.
You're done.
No. But now you can run them with drones and shit. Like, it's no big
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah.
I got dumped in a
That's
kayak.
still a lot of work, isn't it? Even if you drone them out, let's say you catch 10 sharks a day. That's not a lot of work.
I don't think so, but I'm weird.
Is it as much work catching bait to catch that many sharks as it is for catfishing?
I mean, you got to work your way up the food chain.
yeah.
You start with a piece of shrimp,
You start at
then
the
you catch a whiting.
bottom of the pyramid, and you got to work your way up.
And you could use the whiting for shark bait, but you're probably going to catch black tips, which you could use them for bait in Florida. You can't use them for bait in Texas. But
You got to get to trophic level 4 before
Yeah,
before you
exactly.
get trophy.
Exactly.
Before you start getting trophy caliber bait.
Or stingrays. Tell you what, you like to bowfish. Bowfish and stingrays is a very effective way. We would use a spear gun.
I've seen some videos of bowfish and stingrays. It looks like fun doing that off the coast.
They fight like crazy. But we didn't have a bow because bows are expensive. Spear guns are way cheaper. And there was one guy I went with. He had a harpoon. So you would walk the shores of the beach in the morning, right when the sun crests, and these stingrays, anywhere from dinner plate size to the size of a manhole cover, would be in 2 inches of water right where the surf laps up on the beach. And you would just, I mean, you'd walk as far as you had to walk. Sometimes you had to walk 200 yards. Sometimes you had to walk 3 miles. Like, it just depended on the morning. And you would look for these stingrays. You'd look for their eyes is what you'd look for. And when you'd see one, you'd gig them with a harpoon or shoot them with a spear gun and hang on and drag them in. And I mean, if you had a bunch of bait, you'd run a big bait. If you didn't have a bunch of bait, you'd chop them up in smaller pieces and use them. But
that's a whole different world that someday I'm going to experience.
It's different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If you do it,
it's so hardcore if you do it like
from the bottom up.
Let's say if you are shark fishing for a week, like you went out a week on a deserted island.
That's what I was just going to say. If you go, you should do the island.
I want that to be my first shark experience because I'm meat-headed.
Yeah.
I dive in head first. If there's an easy way, screw that. I'll do it better. You know what I mean? So I cannot wait to have a week shark fishing.
I'd say come down when I'm in Florida this winter, but Florida is not the time. I mean, you can catch sharks in the winter, but
You're gonna be in Tennessee anyway.
But to do maybe, but to do a week,
because I'm gonna come down and catch flathead.
I thought Alabama.
It'd be Bama.
Well, Tennessee River.
Yeah. But to do the week long, you would want summertime because the weather, even if the weather's shitty, like there's still more sharks in the surf than there is in the winter.
Yeah.
The winter is so weather dependent. If you get a really nice day,
I guess we gotta go catch blue cat.
That's what we did when Sam and Will came down.
Yeah.
Like when the weather was good, we went and fished for sharks and had a good day. We caught 2. It's a good day.
Hell yeah.
I mean, probably 5-6 hours. I had a shot at a third, I think, and I think he dropped it or something. And then we had a shitty weather
We're gonna
day.
blame it on Sam. That son of a
That
bitch.
son of a bitch. But then, the shittier weather days, we just went blue cat fishing and had some good days. Sam was the generous guy, gave Will all the rods folded, but he caught 20-something and some dinkers, and I think big fish was like 42 or 44. And it was a good day.
Hell yeah.
Good fallback. Then we had another day where I don't think we had bait, and we spent most of the day trying to catch bait, and then it just downpoured, and I destroyed my $200 cast net, and
we get drunk.
I think that's what we did. Got drunk, and Will brought steaks, so
Hell yeah.
grilled steaks and drank beers, and it was still a win.
Yes.
Just winning.
That's a good crowd though. You spend a day hanging out with Sam and Will. It's gonna be comical.
Oh, yeah. Will's gonna come up sometime this summer.
Good deal.
Probably be July. If we got me, you, Sam, and Will on the Missouri River,
I'm in.
it'd be a shit show.
Yeah.
It'd be a good
I'm
time.
in.
We'll have to get Sam to bring his boat too, so we have 2 vessels.
Yeah.
So is Sam from around here or?
He lives north of here about an hour.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
Maybe a little further. It's a little
Further from here. Yeah,
Hour-
it's an
hour
hour and
15.
45 probably
No,
from
it's
here.
hour 15.
Because
it's all
I'm
4.
an hour and 15.
Yeah, it's all 4 lane.
He lives 45 minutes north of me.
Yeah, like he gets
From where I'm
he
at.
runs all interstate down here.
Yeah.
Just done. Yeah, I think it's hour 15. There you go. So anyway,
Well, he takes bigger strides than I do.
that's true. Bigger strides than most.
All right. Well, should we kind of wrap her up for the night,
Yeah.
gentlemen?
Yeah.
Sure.
So the old podcast, we do the last cast. So we'll let the guests start. So Kit, you want to start us out on the last cast? What do you want to leave us on? Give us, first of all, start out with your
You've done
information.
last cast before.
I have.
2 or
done
3
last
times.
cast,
Twice.
yes.
Twice? Have you been on here twice?
I think at least
This is the
twice.
third. I think you and Grandy have both been on twice.
Yeah.
So give us, first of all, give us your information and then give us the last cast.
All right. So.
Or last fish that you
Oh,
caught.
yeah, the last fish.
Spill the
But I
beans on
can't-
them wipers.
Yeah, I can't leave until I catch one more fish. So I guess this is my last fish.
So he's fished for like 8 days at a time. One time.
Okay, I can't leave till I catch one more fish. But anyways, Kit, Fishing Kit is the YouTube channel. I also have my own podcast, Bear Fish Fanatics. I'm a co-host on there with my buddy Grandy. Kind of the same concept as this, drink beer, talk fishing.
They have more top of the line beer than we do. But.
You're even sponsored.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Are you really?
Actually, we just picked up a new sponsor for beer. And actually, Whisker Seeker, they re-upped with us.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So Fire Trucker is a new sponsor. They're more local compared to our old.
You got to say all your sponsors. You got Fire Trucker. You got Kelowna.
Well, Kelowna's not with us anymore.
Well,
but
They're not.
Fuck
You're wearing their
Kelowna.
hat.
yeah, I'm wearing the hat.
You're still wearing their hat.
Yeah. I mean,
They have to
not
be
good at
guys.
this
yeah, they're
sponsorship.
good people. They're good people there.
It's good beer, too.
Whisker Seeker Tackle, they decided to re-up with us, which I was surprised. Like, whoa, okay, like yeah, I ain't complaining, but yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I guess my last thing is there's I have like two ways to tackle this. So I was close to getting a new state record fish.
What?
Damn.
Yes.
Was it flathead?
Yeah.
Why are you leaving us in?
Okay. So
Come on, kid.
there,
He saves it for the last guy.
it doesn't exist yet.
Just the tip. That's how I feel about this.
It doesn't exist yet.
No,
Are you catching a unicorn? What's going on?
There's no state record for this fish,
Gizzard shad.
gizzard shad. So,
I was kind of joking.
well, we kind of touched on it on the last podcast, but so our buddy Jeff Capaska, you guys know him. He's been on your podcast.
Yep.
He's been on
Awesome
Zach's
guy.
podcast.
Yep.
So I've been getting into these big. I'm talking 2-3 pound gizzard shad.
Snagging the shit out of them.
Yes. So I just asked him like, hey Jeff, typically what are the biggest shad that you're seeing? He's
a fisheries biologist.
Yeah.
He's a biometrician.
Yeah, biometrician, the statistician for the IODNR. So I just hit him. I'm like, hey Jeff, what kind of shads are you seeing typically? He's like, oh, big ones probably, I don't know, 15 inches. I was like, okay.
I beat that 12 times today.
I got this shad. It is over 3 pounds. I think it was 3 pounds, 4 ounces. He's like, that is a gigantic shad.
Yeah.
And then he asked me, do you want me to submit it for a state record? I was like, holy shit.
You're a trendsetter.
I was like, holy shit.
You're going to get that son of a bitch mounted? That would be the most epic mount of all time.
Taxidermy and gizzard shad.
I'm tempted to pay for it.
It's like, I've already cut it into 42 baits.
Well, here's the plot twist.
Or deep fried it.
Here's the plot twist. I was like, 1, I did not know that was a thing. And 2, I already cut it up for bait and stuck it in my freezer. So his answer was, I don't think it's a thing, but I could push it through for you. But I already cut it up, so it was too late.
So now you got to catch a 3-5.
And then, so now I go back to that same spot in the back of my mind. If I could get another 3 pound shad, I'm gonna hit him, Jeff. But Jeff, I got another one. Well, guess what? I've caught maybe 2 pound shad.
Yeah.
Nothing 3 pounds.
That's why it's a state record, buddy. It doesn't happen very often.
But are the big shads still there?
We actually got a couple yesterday. They're like 2 pound shad.
That's big.
Those.
Yeah.
We'll talk.
Yeah.
I might eradicate them for you.
Oh, dude! Now I know where to go. Like, okay.
Anything
I
over
know where
3
to get
pounds,
fish.
you got to throw back. This kid's got to catch it.
I'll just keep the 2 pounders. It's fine.
Yeah. And these shads are so big. I didn't take lengths on them, but they're bigger than like the white bass we catch.
I'm gonna bet a 3 pounder is pushing 20 inches.
I think it was like 20.
Didn't you hold him up next to a 5-gallon bucket?
It was taller
And it
than a
was-
5-gallon bucket.
It was huge.
And that wasn't
Holy
even the state
crap.
record potential.
Yeah, the shad you were catching at the beginning of the year were ridiculous.
Yeah. If only I knew, Jeff would have pulled through for me and
Called him sooner.
Gave me a state record.
Hey, it's better late than never. I bet you snag another one.
Yeah, they're there. They're there.
Except I'm going to submit one.
We
The race to 3 pounds, 5 ounces.
I wanted
That's
the
what
bullhead, but I'll settle for a shad.
Yeah.
You may have already caught a shad state record, but it was down in Texas.
Yeah. It was over 3 pounds.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
It was giant.
We cast netted 2 of them that big.
And one of the guides are like, holy shit.
Yeah. You're talking about
Like,
a
he
guy.
catches
He's
tens
cast
of
netting
thousands a
every
year.
day.
Yeah.
And he looked at that and was like, whoa.
But
Like,
yet,
that's what I do, man.
that is my almost state record story. I guess
I'll give it to you. In my mind, you're a state champion.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it. I've never. Actually, I was looking up other state records in other states. I think Tennessee or Alabama was like 2 pounds something. Like, this fish blows that away.
Yeah.
And I just cut it up and stuck it in my freezer.
Yeah, I've got 6 of those today.
Yeah. Like, we caught tons. Well,
You're going to put Iowa on the shad map.
I snagged tons of 2-pounders this spring.
Really? I did see quite a few of but your wipers lately have been impressive. The ones that you put on.
Yeah, I haven't.
And there's
even,
better to
And they
come.
don't hold a candle to what he caught.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't even shown the big ones
Yeah.
yet.
And Butter's got some good ones
Yeah,
lately, too.
Butters, he witnessed a couple of mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Butters he's just not on Kit's level.
And we're going to remind you that every day, Jeremy.
But bless that guy.
Someday you'll catch your own, but in the meantime, you should appreciate that you get to see Kit's.
But anyways, what about you guys? Have you guys been close to a state record fish? I guess that's where I'm going with this.
Trying to think.
No?
How close is close?
I haven't.
You could have had the new state record, but you cut it up for bait instead.
No, not close. I was like,
that's beating it and then either using it for bait or eating it instead.
That's true.
Not
Like,
that
I
close.
caught a 16-pound walleye, but I turned him into a turd. You know?
Which isn't a bad fallback plan.
Yeah.
Right.
I caught a bluegill over 2 pounds once.
But that's not close
Okay.
to a state record.
What's the state?
What is
I
the
think
state
it's like
record?
3
3
pounds. Yeah.
No, it's over 2. I don't know. It's like it wasn't that close. That's why I asked what close was.
It's still an
big.
amazing bluegill.
It was a huge bluegill. It looked like an alien.
Yeah.
You're
It
like,
was like
70% of the state record. That's the
Right.
thing that blows me away when you think about records. Like,
There's
okay,
that
so-
one example.
well, so I caught a 65-pound blue, and I feel really good. Like that's a big blue. It's literally half of the state record. Like, you would slap 2 of them together to equal the state record. Like, that's crazy.
Well, blue cat is a different bird than a bluegill.
Oh, it's
Or a shad.
The
Yeah.
concept, but the concept's the same. You know,
It is.
I catch a 50-pound flathead, and I'm like, that's a giant fish, and then you're like, that's 40% of the world record. You know, like, or whatever percentage it comes
Yeah.
out to, but 50 pounds versus 123. Come on, like that's
Yeah.
insane.
That is
As
crazy.
big as that son of a bitch is, and you're like, it's not even.
Could
half.
you imagine?
I dream. Yeah, I do all
That-
the time.
that-
I dream of it every day.
Just that first time you set that hook and that rod goes, you're like, what the?
Yeah.
That would be a completely different. Because I've never got a 50, but I've got several 40s that you set the hook and you're like,
It's a different critter, man. Like, I feel like 40's that cutoff.
I just feel giddy when you feel that rod just go.
Oh yeah.
And anybody who's got one that size knows what I'm talking about because they all do that.
Dude. Yeah, it's those.
It's
big,
like it's just diving its head down.
His head's. He's got that hook in the corner of his mouth, and his head's going one direction and back. Just.
And your
the
rod's
going. Yep, every time.
It's awesome.
But they're a different critter when they hit 40.
Yeah.
Like 20's a good one, 30's a real good one.
Yeah. 30,
40.
you're like, yes.
40's a different animal.
You're like, hold on.
Yeah. And 50, it's just like, whoa.
I've never caught a 50, but every 50 I've been with you on, and
I let you touch it, hold it.
But just when
Admire it.
I land it, you son of a bitch. Shut up. But just seeing that head come out of the water, you're like, holy crap.
Yeah, they're different. They're just different.
They're just built different.
You're due though, bud.
I keep saying that, but I just keep getting older.
Well, I used to think a 1 pound shad was huge.
It is.
Oh,
Gigantic.
That's a
absolutely.
big shad.
12-inch shad?
Yeah,
Big
12-inch
ass
shad.
When you throw your cast net, and most time it's 4 to 8 inches.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you get a pounder, you're like, yes.
Dude, when I told you I was down in Missouri looking for shad, like when I found them, they were all 12 inches. And I was stoked. If I could fill cast net with 12-inch shad every time,
dude.
I'd be living the high life.
Yeah.
You know?
But well, I know where to find some 2-3 pounders.
Like I said, we're gonna talk.
If you want to or not, you will talk. All right. Let's take us through Deeply Driven Outdoors and Deeply Driven Outdoors podcast.
Yeah. I don't have a great last cast, but it's cool to be on the River Certified podcast. I've listened to every episode, at least that made it on Spotify.
That's
Yeah.
sweet.
Every single one of them. It's
Awesome.
It's a good podcast. So it's kind of cool to be on it. But yeah, I don't know. I don't have anything interesting to say after that.
Tell us what you're excited about coming.
Excited about coming?
Yeah, like for the rest of the year.
What else? You blonde? You got
Like every time.
No,
I don't care if anybody else is there.
I'm assuming you meant about fishing.
I mean, you just go
It was
wherever.
a Tuesday and the wind was right. Hell.
Everybody else goes whatever direction they want, so you can do the same.
No, I'm going on my first Blue Cat trip in a couple weeks.
You talked about that.
good.
Anything
Yeah.
you haven't talked about?
Dude.
I'm going on my
The first time you get a good blue that just takes that rod and turns it into a horseshoe, and it could be 10, it could be 40.
Yeah.
And
They
it just
all
takes
hit it
that
hard.
rod
Yeah.
and goes wham. You're like, yeah.
They definitely all hit it hard.
Yeah,
I'm
it's crazy.
looking forward to that. I got a couple of trips coming up. I may have a Colorado elk trip.
That's
Looking
exciting.
forward to that.
That's awesome.
My buddy got a good Idaho elk tag, so I'm going to Idaho this year. I got a bear tag. I'm going to get a bear tag for Idaho.
Nice.
So
You have a bear tag for Idaho?
I'm going to. They're all
Yeah.
over the counter. So
Oh,
Yep.
so it's
Yes.
no big deal.
pay $240, you get a bear tag.
Yeah, you can get
statewide.
2.
Yeah,
Or at
Yep.
least back when I went.
I
could
think
get
you can
2.
still
Oh,
get
that's
two.
where you went.
Yeah, that's where I got my big one.
Gotcha.
Yep. I went last year to Idaho for bear for the first time, and we didn't see shit, but we had the mountains to ourselves.
That's cool.
Pretty cool.
But you
So,
can
that was
you
spring.
still bait in Idaho?
We went spot and stock.
Yeah.
You can, but
Yep.
we didn't do bait, but we went spot and stock.
Because
in the
there's
spring.
logging roads that go all through the mountains and stuff, and we set up baits, and you could tell a small bear versus a big bear. And I sat on the big bear turd for
that-
4 days.
That would
and
have
it
been the
paid
way to
off.
do it.
Yeah.
But we didn't see anything. We had a great time, but I don't know. I got a few trips coming up that I'm looking forward to.
That's awesome, man.
So hopefully it pays off, and I got some good stories to tell from it. But yeah.
Hopefully you have some good cuts of meat to bring
Some
to
elk,
the next
yeah.
podcast.
See, I'm saying we gotta have like a meat sampling podcast.
If you got elk, I'm in.
Okay.
I've had it several times. So.
we gotta have fried shad.
I've never
We have to
had
have gar.
elk.
Elk's amazing.
Duck
I haven't
fetus
had
eggs.
I haven't had wild elk. You know, store bought shit.
Yep.
No,
You
elk's
bite-
amazing. I had a buddy when I was wrestling up in South Dakota, and his family guided elk trips. So he always had elk steaks and stuff. It's amazing.
I'm looking forward
sold.
to it. The buddy that drew the elk tag is like a single dude, no kids. He's like, yeah, if you help me pack it out, we'll just split it. Okay. Well, that's fine.
So
Dude, that's a hell of a deal for everybody.
Yeah.
yeah,
You know, like, sure, he's going to give a bunch of meat away, but
it sucks.
hauling that
much
shit
meat.
out
Yeah.
would suck.
But it's like 250 pounds of meat. So
Right.
there's 4 of us going.
Yeah.
And it I think we're all getting bear tags.
Yeah.
All getting wolf tags. So
Hell yes.
should be good.
That'd
It'll
be
be a
an
good
awesome
time.
trip, dude.
It's going to be fun. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to it a lot. And then
When is that?
October.
Okay. That's going to be cold,
First-
bud.
It'll be a little chilly.
Yeah.
We do have a hot tent, But he's got
nice.
He's got a tent, like a packable tent with a packable stove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell
So,
yes.
We'll see. If we die, we die.
Yeah.
I don't know. But it'll be a fun time. It'll be a good learning experience.
Hell yeah.
Hopefully some good stories, if not
That'd
some
be a
good meat.
blast.
Yeah.
I want to do it someday. I'm going to have a progression. I want to kill a turkey out west. And then
Next spring we're doing that. Hopefully.
you are?
Black Hills.
Or are you telling me that we're going?
We could go. You want to go?
I mean, I want to.
I'm doing a trip for Black Hills Merriam's next year.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get people to commit. So if you want to go, jump on board.
I want to.
Pitch in,
If I'm
like
going to,
$75
yeah.
for gas and get your turkey tag.
It's
We'll
not
go.
even about money. Like, I want to go. It's just, can I squeeze that in amongst
That week
Right. Lot of shit.
available.
Well, I do it to myself. You know, it's like nobody should ever feel bad for me or anything.
Oh, we don't. We don't.
Yeah, well, good. Like I just make my life just fill shit up in my life. But I love turkey hunting. I love the idea of shooting a turkey that isn't in Eastern.
Yeah.
You know, like I love hunting Easterns. It's different, is my understanding.
So you need a Merriam and you need a Rio.
I just want to.
That's a grand slam,
I'm
right?
not.
And
I'm not trying to put
Golds
together a
and
slam.
Osceola.
I'm not trying to put together a slam. I just want to hunt something different.
It's the cheapest mountain hunting experience you can get to go where we live.
Yeah.
To
So
go to the Black Hills and hunt Merriam's.
I want to do that, and once I've done that, then maybe look at an elk trip.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you want to go, we'll save a seat for you.
we'll talk.
All right.
We'll leave the
Shad
lights
then
on.
turkey.
Let's do it.
Shad then turkey.
Hey, so these bears. So do you guys eat them too?
We will
Yeah?
if we can.
I've heard bears good to eat.
I have
No.
too. So we didn't see one last trip.
Or are they like coyotes?
No, they were horrible.
I've heard that bears very good. I was not interested in hunting bears until I started hearing how good they were. I've had bear
I
jerky.
shot one
but-
that was like ginormous.
The bear?
We ate it once, and then I gave it to a guy to feed to his dogs. The whole rest. Of the
Really?
week. Yeah, there was like 200 pounds.
What
of meat.
area was it like feeding on a bunch of fish and shit?
It was bad.
You were in Idaho,
really?
right?
And I've eaten raccoon, and raccoon was better than bear.
I don't think raccoon's
No
so
shit.
bad.
I've heard
Just
a lot
the
of people.
smell of it.
I've heard a lot of people say
raccoon
I can't
once.
smell, so it's fine.
No, when I had bear, which mine was a trophy class male,
Yeah.
that may have.
Was it eating a lot of fish?
Ryan's what you.
It was
call
right
trophy
after
hunter.
hibernation. It was right when they were coming out of hibernation, but it was not good.
I've
Like-
heard
like it was not
especially fall
even-
bears are supposed to be good.
Really, well, this was a spring bear, but it was not pleasant
I don't know.
at all. Like even cooking it, you're like, "Eh."
No shit.
I think OGs would like it.
Well, I guess
I'd rather just like ate its butthole because it was bad.
that's extreme.
Like it was bad. Like I literally gave 200 pounds for dog food
Wow.
because I couldn't stomach it.
I guess my interest in it came after I've heard that they were good, and we're gonna definitely try and eat it.
I mean, I've got a rug on the wall. I got
Yeah.
a 7.5 footer on the wall, and it looks cool.
Yeah, it does.
Tastes like shit.
Can't have it all, right? Can't have it all.
makes a good rug.
It does. It does.
I'll do my last cast. I'm excited about the whole tournament fishing thing. It's pretty anti-tournament for a while, but it was just because of the drama I've experienced in the limited tournaments I fished. But because I'm kind of anti-drama, but at this point in time,
Unless you're the cause.
I've been the cause. Apparently.
Unless you are the drama.
But I'm just like, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
I want to go compete, mainly because I want to be the best catfish fisherman I possibly can be. And I think the only way I can do that is if I'm competing against other people to be the absolute best. You know, like I compete against myself all the time, but the baseline's different because, like, if I would have went out last week, caught a couple, I caught 65, 47, you know, like a freaking good week in my mind.
Yes.
except somebody rolled into the weigh-ins and had a 108 and then a 60 and like whatever, they put together a 244-pound bag of 5. Like, okay, so that's what's possible.
Yeah.
Maybe I should bump up my game. So looking at that.
But that was situational.
Whatever,
You know what I mean? They jumped on the situation that you found out late.
Yeah, they were better than me.
Yeah.
So if I was better, then
You suck. Quit sucking.
That's the goal. Quit sucking. So I'm gonna fish tournaments, so I quit sucking.
Gotta pay the bills.
Yeah. But I'm excited about it. And granted, catfishing ain't bass fishing. You're not gonna win any tournaments that are gonna change your life. But there's a handful of them out there. You can win $50,000 fishing a tournament.
Yeah. But a lot of the things we do is for getting our brand out or getting our name out a little bit, like with the guide service and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's why we do the podcast. That's why I started YouTube, is just get my name out for my guide service. So, you put your name up on the top of the podium a couple times, that's going to broaden your horizons of what your brand is.
That's an added benefit, but legit, like, I just want to be the best I possibly can be.
Is your goal, like, big picture, to just hunt and fish all the time and not have to be an electrician anymore?
Not even hunt. I just want to fish and do animal control a little bit.
Yeah.
Just to help out my community.
And go fishing a bunch.
That's mainly why I do the animal control, is not for, like, the people. I want to make my environment around my area better.
Yeah, it's not like you're making videos out of your trapping stuff. Or
You
anything.
should.
I'm
But
not.
you should.
Yeah.
You should.
Well, you had a few trapping videos, don't you?
Yeah.
I've seen one or two.
Yeah.
Thank
And
you.
they just
They're
tanked.
like, how to?
They did. Horrible.
But like we talked about earlier, there's not a lot of people into trapping.
for you.
Yeah. And there's not a big trapping community. And I tried to present videos to a trapping community, and the numbers just aren't there.
Yeah, they are. It's
So-
all about how you tell your story.
It is.
Yeah.
It
you,
is.
You can tell your story in a way
Before
that
I make a trapping video, I need to have a case of beer and a couple shots.
No.
And then we're going to go nuts.
Give it
Then
a
I'll
shot.
tell us a
Here,
story.
let's make a
No.
deal right now where I will coach you through how to sell your trapping videos as long as I get 20% return.
Perfect.
You'll make millions and I'll make millions.
20% of zero is still 20%. No, I will. I just kind of, when I started everything, and last trapping season sucked. It was horrible. I trapped for 2 weeks pretty much last year during first season. Mm-hmm. But I need to do a better job of documenting my animal control business, because there's some certain situations that come up that are entertaining, and I need to do a better job of that. But I've just been so time crunched that I've just concentrated on the fishing aspect.
We're
thus
talking millions, right?
far. Well, sign me up.
Yeah.
I'm quitting my job right now. I'm calling my boss. Done. We're gonna make millions.
I would conservatively say we could get to a point where you would quit your job in 2 years.
I'm gonna quit it before then, either way,
Well,
because it's kind of shit. It's kind of shitty.
Is your boss listening?
Yeah, right.
Like,
He knows.
He's aware.
like, sorry, Ryan's boss.
I'm on my way out. No, my last cast. I just want to thank all you guys.
I wasn't done.
You're done.
Give me a beer then.
I think
We're out.
that's
Oh,
it.
shit.
We killed it. We killed
Go
it.
get
We killed the
All
whole
right, you-
case.
Go get yourself a beer.
All right.
Damn it.
That's impressive.
That's only 6 piece, guys.
Wait,
I had half that on the way here.
That's a lot. That's a lot for me. Like 6 beers. Like holy shit.
Spencer's
like-
going to get more beer. Ryan, you're still
He's
on your
got like
last
8
cast.
over here.
Yeah, but that's from 2 podcasts.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I'm a lightweight.
But no, I just want to thank you guys. Tune into Fishing Kit
Yeah.
and Ma Pop and
Beer Fish
BFF,
Fanatics.
Beer Fish Fanatics,
Yep.
and Driven Deep Outdoors podcast. This is the first time I met you. It was a great time. And I've listened to some of your stuff, and you're the exact same person that I knew I was going to meet tonight.
Yeah.
which is great.
That's how I try and be.
Yeah.
Just awkward.
But no, I was listening to your podcast. I'm like, this is gonna go perfectly.
Yeah.
You know, you just fit in.
It's good.
Great.
Like I said, I'm gonna do a trapping podcast with you at some point.
Yes.
Oh shit, he's got the big ones.
I'm just a little guy.
I'm okay. I'm just a little guy.
He doesn't mean that. He'll take a big beer.
So, you guys, I've got a fishing video lined up for next week. And if you're still listening, you need to find something better to do from now on. But we appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
Give us a like and subscribe. We'll see you next week. Thank you.